Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. It's yours truly, Moonbound. I'm signing back live. My apologies for not seeing y'all this weekend, but I was with my kids, taking a breather, you know, collecting information, learning a thing or two. And there's a couple things I want to bring to you guys' attention. Make sure you pull up a chair, get a notebook, or just relax and there's a couple things we need to go over. But before I continue, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope everyone's safe. I hope everyone's warm. And I hope y'all have had a good Monday. I was going to drop a video at lunchtime, but we work straight through lunch, so you already know how that goes. All right, so where am I going to start at? Where I'm going to start? So, hold up. All right, so for starters, you guys, make sure y'all can see what I'm seeing. I hope you guys can see what I'm seeing. I really hope y'all can. Um, all right, so for starters, this meeting happened last week on, I believe, Friday. Yes, it was Friday. This right here is pretty much our crypto leaders in this new frontier. We got we got all the big dogs. Some people I don't even know, but a lot of familiar faces. Starting off with Michael Saylor, we had um the big dog Larry Leopard, um um OG Tom Lee. We had Lynn Alden, like all these people, their net worth will make us feel inferior. All right, these people don't have to show their face. You know what I mean? Let's start there. These people don't have to show their face, but they try to inform us on what's going on in the crypto markets. They try to inform us on how liquidity moves. They try to inform us on the technology itself. And they all came onto this board and just, pretty much just bounced off ideas. Some people just stood there and listened. But either way, like they showed face, okay? And I want y'all to go take a look at the video for yourself. Um, it's called Analyst Questions and Answers MSTR Q4 quarter Q4 2025 earnings call. So pretty much they just chop it up, but that wasn't a reason for this video. That's definitely wasn't a reason for this video, but just this shows me that there's still confidence in the market. Like the big money is still confident. Like the big money is still coming together. Like, you know what I mean? Because we, like, they're not going to listen to the little guys. You feel me? But they're going to listen to your Lynn Outens, your Michael Saylors, your Tom Lees, your Larry Lepper. You know what I mean? No shade to the other guys, to the other guys in this channel, but I was just going off of the people that I actually, advocately listen to on a regular basis. Um, continue from that. There's a video, right? We're gonna come back to this, but there was a video that DJ Academics dropped. Okay, I know some people feel their way about DJ Academics, but he did drop a banger. Like he pretty much flipped a rock in the crypto stock market space, because I didn't see this coming from a mile away. But it's a banger. We're gonna be here for a little minute, not straight watching, DJ Academics, but he definitely shines some light on some stuff. All right, let's get
Bucks,
to it.
right? Like you can't see a Bitcoin. It's just numbers on the screen.
Wait, hold up. Let me cut off my headphones because maybe I can't hear it with it being.
Like what is it? Now, obviously, people are gonna be like, "Well, it has utility to send." Oh, okay, cool. You could argue it a million miles away, but it's not a tangible thing, right? Now, let's get to AI. It's funny how wealth moves, and if you ask me,
Mind you, remember what we said about AI? We had a slight conversation about AI. I'm pretty sure most of y'all know about AI, but the way this man breaks it down just blew my mind, and it actually made me think about other things. It actually, had me brainstorming on what's really going on out here. But I'm going to give you my thesis after he talks, and then we're going to continue with this video. Let's get back into it.
and I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. I believe a lot of wealth has been taken out of the crypto market by a lot of rich people, and they're now leveraging it on AI. That would account for some of the losses we're seeing, some, not all, in crypto. Why are they leveraging it on AI? Because they see AI as the new multi-trillion-dollar industry. I want to give you this quick story, and hopefully you guys can keep up. I think you will. So NVIDIA, if you guys play video games, I play video games. I'm an avid Fortniter. NVIDIA is a company that makes GPUs. GPUs is a graphic processing unit. It's the thing that your motherboard would use to process the super duper graphics you need to play Call of Duty, this and third. And it's going to show you beautiful graphics that you could play your video game on, right? It's a company that has been lasting for the test of time. And the reason why it's been important now is because what they were doing, they are the basic, they create these chips that are these microchips that are able to process information at lightning speed. Because of that, they were able to take over, they used to compete with Intel. They took over the graphics, industry, and they worked with all the computing companies, especially for gamers and this and third. So if you play games, I'm pretty sure you have a NVIDIA graphics card. That's how they started video games. Well, what happened is about a couple years ago, when there was about to be a shift to AI, is that here's the thing with AI. AI is a thing that the growth of AI, right? Like, have y'all been on Twitter? Have y'all seen like a chick post something? There's 80 mentions under it. They're like, yo, Grok, take her shirt off, put her in a bikini. Yo, Grok, have the legs wide open. Yo, Grok, have her bend over. And that's AI. That's AI having to do that lightning speed. And if you just think about that, what happened is that you need these huge data centers, and you also need like really rapid response time to make that happen. So what started out as a company that would make graphics cards realized they had other utilities because they had a proprietary way to work with chips that would work faster than any computer. Okay? So once the world became cognizant that AI was going to take over, they said, who got the fastest processing unit and the fastest chip that could make it happen? Here comes NVIDIA. So NVIDIA kind of gets out of the gamer space, and now they're like the core chipset makers and GPU makers, or not, well, processing units makers for AI. So that's where NVIDIA lands, right? And if you guys are into the stock market, you would have seen NVIDIA was like, I'll look up the time. NVIDIA soars. Like their stock soared like, it'll be like a long time ago. It was not a long time ago. It was like a year ago. You're only going to see new shit about it. But I'm just trying to give you, a little rundown. I want to look up everything. So NVIDIA starts to basically do these deals and start working with people who need lightning speed computing. Okay? So if you need lightning speed computing, that's what you do. They later get fined because like they were getting contracts for non-gaming stuff and they reported it as gaming stuff, and people were like, yo, you're making that much off games. Come to find out they lied, right? So I think they paid out like $5 million. Nvidia pays out $5 million.
Remember what he just said. NVIDIA builds graphic cards, okay, for games to give us a better experience, a better visual experience. But someone came knocking and was like, how are you making all this money off a graphic card? But they had to pay a fine because they lied, because they're not really only building graphic cards. Let them cook.
They reported, yeah. They reported it was a civil, yeah, they disclosed. So the first thing people came to NVIDIA with, and you're gonna see everything makes sense, it was crypto mining. So in crypto, you need to mine the coins. That's a computing heavy process demanding thing that NVIDIA got contracts to do because everybody's working with crypto. They're trying to mine them. They're trying to send them, blah, blah. NVIDIA became the place that was, or the company that needed to help process this lightning quick, like, you know.
Look, pretty much people said, all right, you have the best graphics card chip, right? All right, it could give me a good picture, but can it mine crypto? And it was like, yes, because it's all about compute. Whoever's chips is the fastest, the strongest, they're going to have more than one utility, more than one use case. It's like having a hammer. Yes, it could pound down nails. It could pull out nails, but it also could break shit. And they found that loophole, but they had to pay a little penalty of $5.5 million, but they made bank. All right.
Environment that was cryptocurrency.
Mind you, keep in mind what other entities are mining Bitcoin, are buying Bitcoin. Just keep that in mind. Just think about it.
And crypto mining. So they got a bunch of contracts after the video games, right? Or after the computer stuff that people were buying NVIDIA for video games. And they've got a bunch of stuff for people wanting the fastest computers to mine. Because remember, there's supposed to be a finite number of Bitcoins. There's a finite number. So you want the fastest computer, the fastest shit to process it. They got a bunch of contracts. When they reported the revenue, they did not say this came from, look, they didn't disclose the impact of crypto mining. They act like they were selling, graphics cards for gamers, right? It said it was gaming business, right? So they lied. Right? They lied. So they failed to disclose that their growth was not because of the gaming market, but it was the crypto market. Okay? Hope you're following. So NVIDIA, they started with gaming. Crypto comes in and said, we need like some super duper computers. We got it. They do the deals. They eventually get sued, but they're still doing the crypto stuff. And then here comes AI, which requires even more need for super duper high speed computing. Okay? Now, keep in mind, my whole premise is nothing is real, and you're going to understand why. So NVIDIA gets a bunch of contracts. Their stock shoots through the roof. And then this is where AI is kind of born. Not born, but like it's the infrastructure and industry that everybody's now operating off starts to happen. Essentially, companies wanting to develop AI go to NVIDIA and say, can you get us, we'll do deals with you to get all of these chips to have this amount of computing power that we need for AI. Now, some of these things are going to be familiar to you. Some may not. One of the ones that do is something called OpenAI. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. but colloquially, and they own this product. OpenAI owns a product called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is owned by OpenAI. That was the first big entrance into AI. And they do a deal. Right? They do a deal with NVIDIA. Okay? Now, I want to, again, the premise you should be thinking about is how even money and whatever we're thinking is not real. It's all about interpretation. Here comes in a company we've talked about a couple times, Oracle. Now, the story of Oracle, so pause that first story. So NVIDIA, OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. So NVIDIA they don't leave gaming because they still do it, but they then go to crypto. After crypto, they're at AI, right? Because they're making the chips, whatever. High-speed stuff is needed. Crypto needs it. AI needs it. But let's pause that for a second. That's the chips that's going to do the things required for AI. However, you need the infrastructure that AI is going to live under. And let me give you another real quick explanation. So pause that story right there, right? And I think you guys are smart enough. So we have NVIDIA and ChatGPT, or OpenAI. But now they need something else, which is where it's going to live. Here comes Oracle that we've talked about, and Oracle, remember we talked about it with the TikTok thing. Oracle is where TikTok's data is at and the algorithm, right? But before then, Oracle, give me a second. Oracle, I want to break down this company for you, okay? Oracle is a company, I can't remember when it was started. Let me see. Well, I'll just Google it. It doesn't really matter when it was founded. It was founded in 77, okay, by Larry Ellison.
Remember that year. Most of us wasn't even born yet, all right? 1977. So Oracle went completely under my radar. Never even knew this joint existed. All right. I knew about NVIDIA. I knew about OpenAI. I knew about these other companies. Never knew about Oracle. I knew about Circle. Never knew about Oracle, but let them cook. Let them cook.
I'm going to give you the real quick story about it. You guys could go look up these videos if you really care that much. It's not about one particular story. It's about the overall picture. Oracle founded in 77. It was initially established as, SDL. If you guys work in, or if you're older, you probably know that it was pretty much the first database. And a database is pre the cloud where, it could be, it's a database that could be hosted, like, say, locally, and it was set up in a way that multiple people could access it. It could tell what level of access, and it could interact with each other to properly deal with a company that had many employees that needed to do many things. Okay, I'm making it really simple here, right? Now, this is pre-cloud. Now, Oracle, right, was a enterprise solution, means it wasn't for like you and me. Like it's for a company, right? So companies used to use Oracle. By the way, as we're mentioning that, I got to mention the arms race, because as the cloud becomes popular, databases and the old school database becomes, they become kind of antiquated. So Oracle starts out, and then they start competing, or not start competing. They get blown out of the water by Amazon. Now, what you guys might not know is that, again, Amazon does make a lot of money from Amazon.com. We're on Amazon.com. But the majority of what Amazon does is that they reinvest a lot of their profits, and they don't take, they slim down their margins, so they're not taking that much of a profit. their goal with their store or their online shop is always about getting every customer to buy from them, even at the expense of their own profit. There were some points during their history when they were offering about, Prime and this and third, they would take losses on things, but it didn't matter as long as they could get every customer to not go to Walmart, to not go to Costco, to not go to Target, but to go to Amazon.com. So this part of their business, it's been one that is very historic, but it hasn't been the most profitable in net profit. Why? They reinvest all the money and they take losses just to get customers, right? What people don't know about Amazon, one of their biggest money makers is not the Kindle. What else they own? They own Whole Foods. That's cool too. One of their biggest money makers is something called AWS, right? Now, if you don't know what that is, you probably don't have to interact with it. It's also kind of an enterprise solution, meaning it's for companies, it's not for you and me. Now, I'm going to tell you why this became lucrative. So remember I told you most companies used to use Oracle? Well, when AWS came on, they were like like Google to or Gmail to Yahoo, right? A lot of people were on Yahoo or AOL when Gmail came out. Everybody got a Gmail, right? And essentially what they did was they offered cloud solutions to companies and websites, right? So, without boring you with, and I feel like I might be boring you guys already, but just keep following. To make it short, the reason why, so Amazon, like for example, Twitch is ran on AWS. So there's a cloud, and AWS is Amazon Web Services. So Twitch relies on AWS, okay? For them to have a place to store VODs, a way to process their streams, the bandwidth, everything. AWS, which is owned by Amazon, but they also own Twitch, that's what it's hosted on. Now, get the kicker. All pun intended. I also stream on Kick. Kick is also on the same thing. Kick is also on Amazon Web Services. YouTube is not. YouTube uses their own different thing. But the majority of companies use AWS, whether it's Twitch, that's all. It's always funny when people no matter if you're on Kick or Twitch, you're on Amazon's web services, right? Like if you're on, I don't know, most companies or most websites they're on AWS. Maybe even Instagram. I could look it up. Is Instagram hosted on AWS? Oh, no longer, but they used to. They used to. Okay, cool. So basically, it's like one of the first cloud situations, and they get paid millions, well, actually billions of dollars for these contracts from companies to be able to run. Without AWS, you can't have a Twitch. Without AWS, you can't have a Kick. So cool. They pop out and they get a lot of market share, and now Oracle is looking like the old niggas who got no tech, right? Because their cloud thing is not that, it's not that inviting. It's just not popping like that, right? And they basically become the easy solution for everybody in the, big company space. So everybody's usually using AWS, right? And that's why they're kind of cleaning up, because they had, I think their market share was like 70% or something like that. Anyway, Oracle, which was more robust, it was more technical, and because it was based on database, not just straight to the cloud, it was really good, really robust, but it just wasn't the fan favorite. It wasn't cute. It's like the nerdy, ugly bitch. Like she knows a lot and she's cool, but the pretty bitch that's a dummy, like you're gonna go with that. So that's why everybody went with AWS. Now, ironically, when AI comes around, AWS is just a little bit too simplistic for what's needed for AI. Remember, AI needs a lot of computing power. It needs organizations. It needs shit that is, when you ask Grok a question, it's like this, right? It can't be like, oh, I'm thinking. Give me 5 seconds. Now, hold on. I'm waiting on the signal to get back from the whole data center in Oklahoma. It's not going to work. So AI has to be bang. So now we connect the two stories, right? OpenAI, who just gets a deal with NVIDIA needs to host AI somewhere virtually. They got two options, pretty much. There's another one, but we're not going to get into that. Their options of where to host AI is going to be Amazon or Oracle. Now, Oracle, who was kind of down bad, actually fit all the requirements for what the fuck OpenAI needed. All of the things that was unattractive was now attractive because AI is really intensive and required extreme organization, things that Oracle provided and had in place that AWS didn't.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Now, let me put my headphones back on. A matter of fact, we're gonna keep them off. We're gonna keep them off because we got more things to watch. So let me come back to you guys. So from the looks of things, right? From the looks of things, it sounds like Amazon was cleaning up, right? Because of their cloud infrastructure with AWS. But Oracle has been around since 1977. All right. So they got the infrastructure and they got the low price for OpenAI and NVIDIA to take flight, to have that computing power, to have that storage, to have that good infrastructure. Because in 1977, no one was talking about this stuff. So I'm pretty sure Oracle was down bad and Amazon was cleaning up. But do you want to know what I'm recognizing? What I'm recognizing is that they're all trying to mimic Michael Saylor. Hear me out. What is Michael Saylor selling to us? He's selling us digital credit. He's also selling us Bitcoin, a Bitcoin leveraging tool, which is MSTR, or you can have the digital credit, which is called STR. I probably said it wrong. Let me just take y'all over there. Let me just take y'all over there. So, what did we learn from this, John? We just found out that even though NVIDIA is a video card chip manufacturer, they're actually using their powerful chips to mine Bitcoin. Why would they want to hide that? Me personally, why would they want to hide that? It's because I feel like they're trying to snuff out Michael Saylor. Because Michael Saylor, unlike Oracle, unlike NVIDIA, unlike OpenAI, unlike AWS, Michael's strategy is here for the regular people. Bitcoin is here for the regular people, somewhere to park your money. You'll probably be like, you know what, Moonbound, no one's trying to hear that digital credit stuff right now. People with real money, I'm not talking about your average Joe. People with real money know that real world assets are going to be able to tokenize. People are going to be able to tokenize their company, tokenize their homes. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to tokenize that. Now, if everything's going to be tokenized, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to need some digital credit somewhere. That's where Michael Saylor comes in. So everyone and their mother is trying to do what MSTR and STRC are trying to do. Because right now, MSTR is taking a slight hit to the downside with the rate of Bitcoin that is dropping. But we already know the only reason Bitcoin is dropping is because rich people are trying to leverage themselves within the AI space. They're trying to get the infrastructure. They're trying to build an infrastructure. They're trying to get the resources. They're trying to get the materials to build all this. That way they're at the forefront. Who's ever at the forefront of this new era is going to control everything. As you like, you can see it over here. Microsoft Corp up 12%. Mind you, Microsoft is a strong believer in Ethereum. Ethereum is going to be the rails of the new payment system that's to come in the foreseeable future. But right now, you probably be like, well, Ethereum is not where it's supposed to be. Ethereum moving slow. It ain't. We have to think like billionaires, trillionaires. They're not thinking about, oh, this bull cycle, I'm trying to make this much amount of money. Oh, I'm trying to swing trade this. That way I could get a 20%. They're not thinking, they don't care about that. They're thinking about the next 100 years. They're trying to make sure their grandkids got a hold of everything. And this is a chance for us to get a piece. It's not going to be like this in the future. Right now, everything is cheap. Why is MSTR still going to be at $1.40 15 years from now? Why will Microsoft still be sub $500 15 years from now? Oracle, 15 years from now. Right now, I have to retract my statement because I said, you know what, I would want to put my money in Nvidia. No. Why buy Nvidia when Nvidia got to go to Oracle? You buy Oracle because Oracle got the infrastructure that Nvidia needs, and it's at the price. How many other people are going to follow suit? Because at the end of the day, it sounds like Nvidia was trying to copy and paste the MicroStrategy technique. But unlike MicroStrategy ain't got to answer no questions because they're clearly transparent on what they're doing. And now we're going to have a new financial tool called STRC, which will be digital credit. Everyone and their mother wants to tokenize their business, their real world assets. But before they get there, digital credit has to be in place. So make sure you screenshot this, but this is the other Michael Saylor company. It's called STRC that deals with digital credit. And MSTR is dealing with leveraging Bitcoin. So pretty much, if you buy MSTR, if Bitcoin is up 20%, you will be up 40%. Vice versa. So let me go back over to YouTube, and let me go over to the video. So this is Michael Saylor. We're not going to watch this whole video, but this is Michael Saylor breaking it down of STRC. If I was y'all, I'll just go take a look at the video myself. But we're going, take a, look at this drawing for a couple minutes. That way we could, have a better, we could better comprehend of what Michael Saylor is trying to show us before it's too late, you guys. You have to remember, we have to act before it's too late. We don't have time to be afraid. We don't have millions of dollars at our disposal. Billions of dollars at our disposal. Most of us can't even afford to buy a house. We need somewhere to park our money where it's going to grow and forever. And we need to do our research on these companies because we can't afford to get this wrong. Granted, maybe you don't want to buy STRC. Maybe you don't want to buy MSTR. If you don't want to buy these companies, the best thing that we could do is buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because they're going to be the railroads. That's the safe haven that we know that we should double down on because time is running out. Y'all see how the Bitcoin bull run is running right now. A lot of people are quitting. The 4-year cycle broke. We got commodities running like meme coins. That's telling me the elites are going to stay in the old monetary system for as long as possible before they send Bitcoin to Mars, before they send Ethereum to Mars. It's only a matter of time. But let Michael Saylor explain his new money vehicle.
You get the Bitcoin rate, which is, right now 35-40%. We expect Bitcoin to be 30% over time. But if you want to go to the short end of the yield curve to the 1 month end, then 11.3%, right, is the rate. We think that this creates just a very compelling opportunity. Clearly, we believe the killer app of digital capital is digital credit. And oftentimes people joke, it takes 100 hours to understand Bitcoin. Maybe it takes 1,000 hours to become a Bitcoin maximalist. It only takes 10 seconds to understand Stretch. Stretch is 11.25% dividend yield paid monthly. That's it, right? It's a 10-second idea. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, here's an actual 4-month snapshot. And this is an interesting comparison, Stretch versus Bitcoin. What's the difference between credit and capital? Well, in the last 4 months, Bitcoin has traded down 30% through the 1st of February. Stretch is up 1%. Slide. Right. Think of us as a digital credit vehicle. Our job, we are.
Y'all see this thing? We got Stretch STRC at the spearhead. We're earning dividends. We will be having Bitcoin, okay? We will have MSTR. Bitcoin derivatives. But let's focus on what we could get our hands on. That's STRC, that's MSTR, and that's Bitcoin. I believe we buy these forever. These is going to replace our 401k, y'all. Y'all seen the growth. STRC is doing better than any currency that you could bring in front of me. We know Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin will go up and to the left forever. Well, up and to the right. Yeah, up and to the right. Up and to the right forever. MSTR, same thing, but it's going to be volatile. It's all going to be volatile until we get this adoption. You guys, you don't want to start buying Bitcoin and crypto once it's calmed down, once it start, becoming less volatile. We need volatility because once the volatility disappears, it's over for us. It's going to be over. We're going to be damning our children to labor work forever. I'm not saying working a job is bad, it's negative. Look, we all got to do what we all got to do, all right? We all just trying to make it out here. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain, I'm getting older. And time waits for no man. And this vehicle right here is going to be the vehicle that's going to take us to Pluto, y'all. But let me let Michael Saylor explain it.
Are thrusting forward. We are actually moving through space through issuing digital credit, right? It's digital credit is the product. Bitcoin is the backing collateral. The secret or the most important thing for us to do is to build the vehicle in the most robust, fault tolerant way that we can, the most scalable way we can. You could think of it as a Bitcoin battery and then a US dollar battery. And we have lots of options. We have options to run on the US dollar reserve. We have the option to sell equity. We have the option to sell Bitcoin. We have the option to sell Bitcoin derivatives. And we keep our options open so that we can do the best thing for all of our stakeholders. Our common stock shareholders, we want to do the right thing for the MSTR common stock shareholders. We want to do the right thing for the credit holders of the digital credit instruments. And we want to do.
He is being open how everything connect. He's never going to be called out. No one's going to be able to pull Michael Saylor's card, be like, all right, what is MSTR doing? But MSTR is actually doing something completely different from what he said it was going to do. MSTR is not no Nvidia. STRC is not no Nvidia. Okay, everyone's trying to take a play out of Michael Saylor's playbook and try to make it their own. I'd rather buy the original. I want to buy the root. I don't want to buy the stalk. I don't want to buy the leaf. I don't want to buy the flower. Give me the root. Give me the seed. That way I know where to go. And Michael Saylor is pretty much making it easy on all of us. But a lot of people want to get rich quick. A lot of people don't want to buy Bitcoin. People want to buy their altcoins. You guys, we got our altcoin bag stuff. It's time to start buying Bitcoin. It's time to start buying Ethereum. It's time to start buying STRC. It's time to start buying MSTR. All right. And the reason is, look how cheap MSTR is. $140. Down on the year. When I go to the max, it's taking a slight dip. But over time, since it started in 1998, I was 8 years old. That is crazy. Since it started, pardon myself, I was 7. See, I don't feel that bad. I don't feel that bad. But since 1997, oh, mind you. They didn't always have insurance. Look, when you're a Bitcoin company, insurance companies say goodbye. They say goodbye. We can't cover you. We can't cover this because it's Bitcoin. You feel me? Michael Saylor was paying his insurance out of pocket, you guys. Think about how many billions that is. He didn't have an entity that could take care of his insurance. How most of us have, insurance people that we pay a certain amount and they take care of everything in case something goes wrong. He was paying everything out of pocket, insuring his own thing. Now, I mean, MSTR is insured now. His companies are insured now, but they went through the worst. They went through their testing phase. They was completely honest from the rip. This is where we plan our money, y'all. Especially if you want to get into some stocks, because I'm a big crypto buff. I'm a crypto fanatic, but I always wanted to know where to put my money inside some stocks, because I do feel like stocks I do want to have some type of diversity in the stocks, but I want to be in the best stock possible. And being inside MSTR, STRC is probably going to be the best bet from here on out. Now, STRC was created in 2025, you guys. We kind of missed the ball. Know what I mean? I can't be mad. I was 7 years old when MicroStrategy started. Okay, I was 7. So I'm not that mad. But it's still under $1,000. Imagine MSTR once Bitcoin get to $500,000 per token. Imagine MSTR once Bitcoin gets to $1 million. We're going to $1 million. Let's not be foolish. We missed Bitcoin at $1, $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000. We even missed it at $50,000. But right now we will complain because Bitcoin is right now below $70,000, hovering somewhere in the mid 60,000s. Some probably say if it's going to go lower. If it go lower, so be it, you guys. We have to be able to stomach all the chaos. There can't be no tenderness, no wishy-washiness. Your future self really don't care. Your kids don't care. Your grandkids definitely don't care. And to be a pioneer, no one said it was going to be easy. No one. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. Sometimes I just wish I could just enjoy my money, enjoy my paycheck to paycheck. But you know what? No one's going to care about that once I'm 6 years old, once I can't move around that good no more. You know, God forbid I could still move around. But I'm talking about when we get old, we're going to need something. This is the Microsoft before it take off. All right. This in STRC still under $100, and it's only been around since 2025. What happens to STRC once 2040 hit? That's how you need to be thinking. There will be volatility, you guys. There will be volatility. No one said it's going to be a simple a simple a simple journey, but we're doing the right thing for our bloodline. And if you don't want to get no STRC, you don't want to get no MSTR, buy Bitcoin. Now, you'll probably be like, buy Bitcoin for what? Because you want to know why to buy Bitcoin at these levels? It's a guaranteed 2x. Guaranteed 2x. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting around. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting around $69,000. All right. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting around $69,000. Now, I'm going to multiply that by 2. That's 138. Do y'all believe this bull run Bitcoin can hit 138,000? We already hit 125. Why can't we hit 138? Let's not forget what the Bitcoin rainbow chart looks like. This is the Bitcoin rainbow chart, y'all. It's really simple. It's blue line, trade around, get rich. Blue line, trade around, get rich. Blue line, trade around, get rich. Right now, we hit blue line. We just traded around. We hit the yellow zone, you guys. And right now, we're going back down. 4-year cycle over. But one thing I know for sure, we still ain't hit that get rich. We didn't hit that get rich, that orange zone. And right now, people think it's over. I personally believe rich people use the beginning of the bull run to get some liquidity, to move it over to the old monetary system to start building for AI infrastructure. That is why we're seeing precious metals start to take a flight, because we need these precious metals for the infrastructure for AI. And we have AI companies lying about what they actually do. Well, NVIDIA is not an AI company, but they make chips. So I'm pretty sure these chips are going to go into the AI whatevers. At the end of the day, it all comes down to Bitcoin. People know Bitcoin is so scarce, they're willing to lie about themselves purchasing it, and they're willing to take any lashing for not telling the truth. You guys, if the billionaires, trillionaires are buying Bitcoin in secret, why are we buying any other token besides Bitcoin right now? Not the alts when they're showing some strength, or I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. You could do your research. Ethereum is loved by Microsoft. Yeah, we all know what Microsoft built. We all know what Microsoft brings to the table. Do not cheat yourself out this opportunity, you guys. I'm not sitting here. We're going to be rich this bull cycle. It's not about being rich. It's about building wealth, building a nice foundation, and we will grow together. Let me go take a look at the Ethereum rainbow chart. Same story. We never went orange since 2021, you guys. This bull run will commence, but you have to believe in yourself. You gotta want this shit more than air. You gotta wanna be free more than wanting to breathe, you guys. I know it hurt. I'm tired. But you wanna know something? I can't give up. Because I listen, I'd rather die, you guys. I'd rather die to have my muffin depend on the US dollar when we know they're going to continue to print money forever. Listen, I can't save them all right? We can't save them all. We can't even save all our family, okay? We can't save them all, but we can save our kids. We could do what we need to do for our kids right now. A guaranteed 2x if you start buying Bitcoin now. A guaranteed two, maybe a guarantee. Yo, Ethereum's going to rip. Like, what's the orange level right now? Just where we at right now? Orange level, the bottom of the orange level, where we at right now, is $7,600. If we was just to teleport to the orange region, Ethereum will be worth $7,000. Now, right now, Ethereum is what, two grand? So that's, let's see, that's like a 4x, a 4 or 5x off your money. And that's guaranteed coming from Ethereum. It's not guaranteed that your altcoin is going to do that. It's not guaranteed that your meme coin is going to do that. I know taking risk is you need to take risk, but you also need security. You're going to get that in Ethereum. You're going to get that in Bitcoin, and that's what we need to be buying at these levels because it's guaranteed to bounce. Main reason, you see it for yourself. We ain't go orange, but the powers to be have to get their foothold on this new era. And we're going to continue to learn as we go. But don't be bamboozled by these companies that's making a lot of money, because a lot of them are not as upfront as Michael Saylor is. They're not as trustworthy as our board.
To do nothing.
As our board. All these gentlemen and the young lady did their darnest to warn us, to prep us, to tell us to buy the dip. They've all been teaching us. They all been teaching us. It will be foolish for us not to take heed or to tuck our tails and run right now. Continue to buy your Elon, continue to buy Bitcoin, continue to buy Ethereum, because this war is not over, you guys. It's not over by a long shot. We probably, you know what? If we get a bull run in 2026, that will be nice, but I'm ready for 2027. If we don't see nothing this year, I'm willing to take that. You know why? Because I'm not here for instant gratification. Neither should you be. We have to do what we got to do or be cut down. Remember, own nothing and be happy. You've been warned. You don't got all the time in the world. Listen, once Bitcoin get to $1 million per token, what are you going to say? You've seen them all. Maybe you won't remember me, but you're going to remember Michael Saylor, Tom Lee, Lynn Alden, Larry Lepre. You're going to remember Anthony Pomp. You're going to remember these. Look. We got Grant Cardone. He said he wants to make he wants to make his own token, but he doesn't have the infrastructure yet. Michael Saylor does. Oracle does. Okay. And then once we get to that new evolution in crypto and the stock, stable tokens, real world assets, once we get to that tokenized stage, migrating over to Grant Cardone and what he got going on won't be too far-fetched. But at least we were on the forefront with MSTR and STRC in Bitcoin before Bitcoin became $1 million per token. We have to take this chance now or be cut down forever and have our family suffer forever, you guys. And I'm not big on having my muffin suffer. Ain't happening. All right. Heads will roll before that happens. Real rad. But yeah, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a blast. Ed on Mars, I see you. Gaming TV, I see you. Thank you for locking in with the Dog on Mars section. Thank you. Thank you for locking in with the Moonbound section. But yeah, you guys, we got a long way to go. All right. We got a long way to go. And I know the markets is a little bit shaky right now, but this is what we want. Okay. This is what we want. All right. Like, we're not going to get prices like this. Okay. We're not going to get prices like this. All right. We still got Solana under $100. Okay. We're not going to get prices like this. All right. Ethereum still under 3K. Bitcoin still under 100K. I'm telling you right now, if that glitch was real and I was worth $7.6 billion, I'm buying Bitcoin, I'm buying Ethereum, I'm buying real estate, I'm buying MSTR, I'm buying STRC because I want my money. I need to have my foothold on this new frontier. If you don't have your foothold on this new frontier, you're asking to be left behind. People are, I don't understand. Like, we're working for money that's depreciating as we speak. And then we still don't invest and then ask why we can't get a foothold. We gonna, like, if you're not even gonna take a gamble, if you're not even going to like take a shot. I don't want to hear no one say the weekend ain't long enough. I don't want to hear say I'm broke. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. You made a choice to live like that. Right now, we're just trying to fix it. Okay. Right now, we're trying to fix our trajectory in life. But if you know what's happening to you and you still don't want to do nothing, you're asking for the sword. Okay, you're asking for it. It's like poking a bear. You not having no assets going into this new technological age, you're asking to be ate alive. Die slow. I'm not going. Not going, you guys. And with that being said, thank you for locking in with the Moonbound section, Free to Real, Dog on Mars to Pluto, Crypto to Pluto. Y'all already know how this goes, man. Until next time, you guys. Until next time.